It's summer and it's raining and I'm in a sweatshirt. Hello, welcome back. I'm going to be doing a new series on my channel here, and I'm going to be doing a 1 month, 1 palette series. Now I thought of doing this a little while ago, I thought of doing it a few months ago, but I had my 4 weeks, 4 lipsticks series going on, and I've also got my project pan and my Shop My Stash as well, and I felt like it would be too much to add in another series as well. But now that I've finished with my 4 weeks, 4 lipsticks, I kind of feel like I want another little series going on. And I don't have many eyeshadow palettes anyway, so this won't be a really long series. I think this will only be for about sort of 5 months perhaps, so I think that will take me up until sort of November, December time. But I just want to take a good amount of time to really focus on my eyeshadow palettes, because I have one or two that I think, do I really need this? So I think this will be a good opportunity to work through all the eyeshadow palettes that I own and sort of see whether I still want to keep them in my collection or not. So the first palette I'm going to start with is one that I am a little bit unsure about, and I think I have included it in a recent Shop My Stash. Now it is a nice palette, it's very pretty, it's very soft, but I don't feel like I need a palette full of these colours, and it is my bareMinerals Ready Eyeshadow colours, and it's a palette full of purples, pinks, some warm greys, some sort of mauvey tones. Now I find that these colours are quite flattering on my complexion. I do think they suit me and they look nice, but they're not really colours that I wear that often. I'm much more of a neutral browny gold type of person, and I feel like with this palette there's not much variation in the looks that you can create. It's either pink or purple, and I feel like there's a lot of eyeshadows here to create just a pink or a purple look. But my 1 palette 1 month series is going to be obviously a month, it's going to be 4 weeks, and I'm hoping that in that space of time I can really sort of decide at the end whether actually I can get a variety of looks with this palette, or whether, you know, should this one still really be in my collection or not. So with this palette, I'm not going to set myself a goal as to how many times I'm going to use each individual eyeshadow pan, although I do want to make sure I've used every single one once. But above that, I'm not fussed, and I just want to sort of see what looks kind of come naturally from this. That might change in the videos after this one. I might actually think, well no, it would be a good idea if I say 3, 5 times for each eyeshadow pan. We'll just kind of see on that one. But for now, as long as I use each individual eyeshadow pan at once, I'm happy with that. Now I think tomorrow I will be filming a Shop My Stash video, so in that video I'll see if I want to include any other eyeshadow palettes that can work in conjunction with this, and also look at tailoring things like blushes and lipsticks around this palette as well. But just for this 1 month 1 palette series, it's only going to be this individual eyeshadow palette that I'm going to be including. And this month takes us up to the end of July and then the first week or so of August, so it's not going to be a July palette and August palette, but seeing as I'm starting this in the first week of July, it will encompass most of the month. So I've done most of my makeup, so what I will do, I will zoom you guys in and then I will see what look I can create with this palette. And the way I want to format these videos is that I'm going to be applying some eyeshadows to my eyes, seeing what look I can create and giving you my thoughts on it, and then by the next video I'm going to show you guys some pictures as to all the other looks that I've created with this palette. So I'm going to try my hardest to remember to take pictures every single day that I wear this palette, and hopefully I will have created lots of different types of eyeshadow looks. But for now, let's just zoom you guys in and I will finish off the rest of my makeup. Okay, so I've just primed my eyelids then, and I'm thinking, because I've got a little bit of a pinky lip going on, I want to go for more pink shadows. So maybe these kind of colours here, but I'm not sure if you can see that there's not really a huge variation in pinks. There's not really a really dark pink that I can use in my crease, so I may have to dip into some of these really pinky purples, but that's kind of where I think I want to be going. So I'm going to take this shade here called Fortune. Oh, I have also actually depanned this shade. I did this probably last year. Once we got into the first lockdown, because I had more time in the morning, I wore every single bit of makeup that I owned. So if I came across an eyeshadow pan in a palette that I didn't like, I depanned it. So if you ever see other depanned eyeshadows like this in any of my other palettes, that's why. But for now, let's take the shade Fortune, and I'm going to use that as a sort of starting transition shade for my crease. So just on a big fluffy brush. I'm then going to take, try not to block out my face, Lure. It's a darker pink, but it's got a little bit more of a purple tone to it, so I'm going to use that on a smaller crease brush and really kind of concentrate that a bit more directly in the crease. Just going to put a bit of my NYX glitter primer on my lid because there are some lovely shimmery shades in this palette. So I want to take one, maybe two of those pink shimmer shades on the lid. Okay, let's start off with one of the lighter pinks first. I'm going to take this one here called Shazam, and I'm going to try it first of all on a flat brush to really sort of pack that pigment on. Sometimes it works better with a finger, but I want to see what a brush does first. So I just want to concentrate that on like the inner to mid part of my eye, and then I might put a darker one on the outer. That seems to have applied quite nicely. I'm then going to take the darker one called Cloud 9 and put that on the outer part of my eye, just to see if there's much of a difference between those two shimmery pink shades. Yeah, there is a subtle difference. This one is darker. I'm then just going to take a small amount of Catalyst here, a very small amount, and just put it on my outer corners just to darken up that area ever so slightly. Okay, just going to take those same colours, not the shimmers, underneath my eye for a bit more dimension. Okay, so I just put some liquid eyeliner on and some mascara, a little bit of highlight under my brow bone and in the corner of my eyes, and this is the finished eyeshadow look. So I think it's pretty. I think it's a very pretty soft look, but I used about 4 or 5 eyeshadows in that palette, and I feel like you can't see a huge distinction between all those different shades, and I think that's really my problem with that palette. The fact that you've got all these different shades and they all tend to look the same on the eyes. I mean, as pretty as this look is, I don't think that you could look at it and go, oh yeah, you use 4 or 5 different eyeshadow looks. They've all kind of like merged into one. So I will keep playing with it over the next month, see if I can get some real distinct looks, but I've got a feeling that the pictures I'm going to show you guys in a month's time are all going to look very, very samey, very similar. But they're lovely to blend, they're fairly pigmented and you can build up the pigmentation as well. Nice and soft looking, but this isn't really a palette to create lots of distinct different looks. And yes, I suppose that is the same for every palette that has a similar colour scheme, but one purple looks the same as another purple, one pink looks the same as another pink in this palette. So I mean, I like it, I think it's a pretty look, but time will tell. So thanks so much for watching, guys. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Stay tuned for a Shop My Stash that is coming soon as well, and I will see you again soon in my next one. Bye guys.